Those are olives, and this is Sydney, at Epping, not far from the city, where hundreds of Italians have settled. Onsonato Galluzzo is the patriarch of one family. He came alone from Italy in 1939 and was promptly interned. After the war, he bought this land, built a small house, and in 1949 his family joined him. Together they tilled the 3.5-acre Epping farmlet. The sons working in a shop, on the buses, in a factory, but always in the morning and in the evenings, working the land their father had broken. And they prospered, and the sons married and the daughters married, and there were more hands to work the farm. And there came the new seed. For centuries, the small Italian landholder and his family have worked industriously and lived frugally simply to stay alive. They come to Australia, and the same habits of work and thrift come with them. In Australia, these habits and the communal family life mean prosperity to a degree that was unheard of in their old home. They remain faithful to the soil. Their life radiates from it into industry and commerce, but its hub is the soil, Australian soil. In Epping and in many other centres near and in Sydney and throughout Australia, Italian communities are driving their roots deep into the earth. 3 sons, 2 sons-in-law mean Galluzzo never lacks a strong back on his farm, and the profit goes to where it happens to be needed in the family structure at any time. As they live, the family is not a unit that disintegrates gradually as the children grow. As they live, a man in his old age has his sons with him and their wives and their children. And when he dies, his sons still live on his land. When one of Galluzzo's daughters married, his son-in-law built a house on the farm. This is it. The son-in-law is a bus conductor and a farmer. He came to Australia penniless 8 years ago. The house is worth about £7,500. It's as Australian as the old house is Italian. Everything about the old house is Italian. The wine they drink, the language, the food. Cauliflower and spaghetti for this meal, and always at every meal, spaghetti. These are not people who set themselves hard at the task of becoming assimilated. They settle, they grow, they build, keeping their ancient law and culture because they're good things. And in not a long time, these things take root and a new plant grows, with all the strength of the old, but it has a new form. It's purely Australian. These are not second-generation Italians. Only the child was born here. But Galluzzo's daughter and her husband speak mainly English because they find it more convenient. In Galluzzo's home, there's little to indicate that this is in Australia. In Galluzzo's daughter's home, there's little to indicate that these people are Italians. Galluzzo's grandson is Australian. This is the great transmutation that's taking place in Epping, in Sydney, in Australia. The grafting of people to a country. This is migration.